Let me ask you something. Have you ever tried to take a vacation, a real break, and still found yourself glued to your phone or your laptop because everything somehow still needed you? Or delegating feels risky because no one else knows how things really work, and most of your systems live inside your head? Or your team comes to you for every little decision, big, small, unnecessary, and you can feel your frustration building because you wish they could just run things without you. Or maybe you've quietly wondered what would happen to revenue if you got sick or stepped away for a month because you wish they could just run things without you. Or maybe you've quietly wondered what would happen to revenue if you got sick or stepped away for a month. Would the business keep moving or would everything slow to a crawl? Or maybe at a deeper level, you feel guilty when you're with your family because you're not working, and you're guilty when you're working because you're not with your family. You may have heard people call this key man risk. That term doesn't really capture what you're living. More accurate name in real estate is the owner everything problem. Because when everything flows to you and everything needs you, when nothing moves forward without your involvement, that can create something heavy, something draining, and something most owners rarely acknowledge. And we call that the burden. The owner everything problem is the core reason operators don't scale. It's why they can't step away. It's why they feel trapped inside something they built. After seeing so many operators up close, there's a clear divide between those that scale fast and those that stay stuck for years. Most believe that they run a real business, but in reality, they've built a very demanding, very expensive job that only functions as long as they keep showing up. The owner everything problem shows up in different ways. Sometimes it explodes when you grow quickly, and suddenly it feels like the wheels are coming off the bus, and everything is held together with improv and urgency. Sometimes it shows up when you launch something new, a large customer, a new initiative, a new market, and suddenly you discover your systems were never built to support that added complexity. And we think this is especially true in property management and real estate. Operators simply cannot fire themselves from the day-to-day operations. And the most common complaint we hear is that I'm always working and I can't take a real vacation. Or maybe, a much more complicated case, you're considering selling the business. Someone may tell you the painful truth. This business isn't sellable because too much of it lives inside of you. Every founder who has lived this knows how painful it is. But the most dangerous moment is when you're actually trying to grow, double revenue, expand, or prepare for that sale, while still being the person that holds everything together. That's when you finally say, I can't keep being the bottleneck. So I'd like you to picture your business as a bridge. Customers on one side, your team and the operations on the other. But if you are the bridge, if every approval, every crisis, every decision must pass over you, then the moment you step away, everyone falls into the water. It's not sustainable, and it's not freedom. And here's how acquirers or purchasers will view your company. If one person, especially the owner, is the system, they see an enormous red flag. They're going to think to themselves, if we buy this company, and as soon as we do, and that person leaves, what happens? They're holding it all together. But what if you don't walk away? Your valuation still drops. The value of your existing customers or your door count alone simply isn't enough to get you the valuation you're going for because they see what you've been carrying, the burden. I'll be honest with you, solving this problem is hard. It's not overnight. It takes real work, leadership, systems, documentation, accountability. And usually, you need a partner or provider to help you along the way, and not just to consult and give you advice. No, you need somebody to do the day-to-day work to take that burden off your plate, to help you grow, to let you take time off, and to put systems in place, and for them to stick around to do the actual work. The owner everything problem looks different for each business owner, but the root is always the same. The owner everything problem can hide in 4 places. First, marketing, when only one person knows how to make leads appear. Second, sales, when only one person can consistently close. Third, customer and owner management, when only one person can solve the complex issues or keep the quality bar where it needs to be. And lastly, operations, when only one person keeps the organization moving and everything leans on them for direction. Each of these creates a version of the burden that weighs more heavily than most owners realize. And here's the uncomfortable irony: the better you become, the more skilled, disciplined, and experienced you are, the more people depend on you. Your personal growth just became the company's bottleneck. The more areas where you exist as the single point of knowledge, the heavier the burden becomes, and the less attractive your company looks to buyers or partners. But there is a system to solve this, and removing the owner everything problem is a repeatable process. So, when you begin assembling the right partners, the right people, the right structure, transferring decisions and knowledge out of your head and into systems with a partner, you unlock scale faster than you ever imagined. And here's the truth: even if you never want to sell, building a business that could run without you makes it stronger today. So, founders who break free from the burden all have the same realization: I became the bridge. And once they see that, the real questions begin. How do I stop being the bridge? How do I stop being the bottleneck? How do I stop carrying the burden? The answer depends on where in your owner everything problem you are living. But no matter where it is, there is a defined path to unwind it. And honestly, that's why we built Propertyse. Our mission is simple. We help property managers, brokerages, and developers in the real estate world fire themselves from the daily operation. But we do that in a unique way. We step into the chaos with you, and we do it in three key areas. First, we work with you on a strategy that fits your needs and your goals, nothing cookie cutter. Next, we install people and processes to do the actual work and stay there to continue to do the work. And lastly, only then do we implement automation and AI built for your company specifically, so you can scale, free up time, and increase your value and your revenue in the long run. So, how do we step into the chaos? Well, whether it's maintenance overwhelm, documentation and leasing queue, marketing, door growth, or managing projects, we can handle it all. We built the people and the systems to do that. But the most important part is the solution is tailored to you. Not one size fits all, not some packet of PDFs that's generic. No. Our goal is to help operators where they live, how they live, and in the systems they live in, but to be the partner side by side to make them better and to give them their life back, so the burden is no longer weighing on their shoulders. You have to tackle the burden with real people, real systems, and real accountability. So instead of flying somewhere for a workshop or watching a course you'll never finish, we plug in our teams, what we call pods, that are fully trained directly into your operation, working side by side, both as your strategic partner and the ones taking over the day-to-day work. Our pods are human operators backed by automation and AI to do that work. And that's the work that you should not be carrying anymore. Whether it's maintenance coordination, resident communication, documentation, vendor management, the list is endless, and everything that swirls around and eats up your calendar. So, where do we start? With an operational assessment. We map out how you work and how work flows through your company. We document the gaps, and we start building standardized processes that you, your team, and our team can all run while being in the same page. And after we've done that, then our team starts to take over all of the work that you decide. We take that burden off of your plate so you can finally begin to fire yourself. And only as the last layer do we add in automation and AI. So information stops living inside of people's inboxes and in their heads and turns into repeatable systems. We are not a VA agency. This is not a course. This is a full operational engine designed to reduce or eliminate the burden. I want you to imagine your life after this. Work orders are triaged and routed without you being pulled in. Residents are receiving proactive communication without your team drowning in email. Make-readies get moved through a clean workflow, and owners see clean and transparent reporting. Your team, our team, everybody is playing from one playbook instead of reinventing processes every day. And most importantly, you are no longer the default answer to every problem. You can step away a week, a month, and things still work. That is what life without the burden feels like. And I am not here to promise you magic. This is not overnight. It requires real participation. But now you are not doing the work alone. You bring your portfolio and your standards, and we bring structures, people, and automation. And together, we'll rebuild your operational engine in a way that actually lasts. This is not hype. It is not theory. It is the kind of work that makes the owner everything problem disappear. And here's the truth about operations: waiting makes everything worse. Work orders pile up, people burn out. Your best staff start browsing job boards, and your customers, the owners, start questioning performance. Every month that you wait makes the burden grow heavier. Some owners choose to work this way, and that's their decision. But problems don't fix themselves. Owners who join and partner with Propertyse typically share one thing: they're tired of being the bridge. They want operations to run without everything flowing through them. They want growth, breathing room, and a company that isn't fragile. They want to lead, not carry. Another reality is there's never a perfect season to fix this. Lease ups are always busy, turns are always busy, renewals are always busy, and something is always burning. That's why we design an onboarding process around your real world, not a hypothetical one. When you schedule a fit check with us, you're not committing to anything. You're simply giving yourself the breathing room and the space to understand ROI behind removing the burden inside of your business. We won't offer you a service or solution that isn't a clean fit. And a fit check is exactly that. It's an honest look at whether or not a service like this can generate a meaningful ROI in your company and your life, and whether or not that fit makes sense. We won't offer our service or solution that isn't a clean fit. And a fit check is exactly that. It's an honest look at whether or not the numbers make sense, whether the workload relief is meaningful, and whether the ROI is truly there for where your company is today or where you want to grow. If it's not a fit, we will tell you plainly. We'll even recommend alternatives that are not us. But if it is a fit, you'll see a clear, grounded path forward that doesn't rely on you carrying everything anymore. And here's the thing about operational issues: they behave like a leaking pipe. You notice a drip. You plan to get to it when things calm down. But everyone in this industry knows that a small leak becomes a far larger problem later. And the burden works the same way. The longer you carry it, the deeper it spreads into morale, performance, and growth. And many owners actually begin with us in their busiest season, because stabilizing in the chaos actually makes calm seasons effortless. It's not easy, but it is true. So no matter what season you're in, calm, busy, overwhelmed, or somewhere in between, we can build a plan that removes the burden without adding chaos. So the real decision doesn't have to be urgent or dramatic or emotional. It is simply, do you want to keep carrying everything alone, or do you want clarity on whether there's a realistic ROI path to shifting that weight onto systems, people, and structure? And that's what a fit check gives you. It's a grounded assessment, real numbers, real expectation, but no pressure. If we're not a fit, you can leave knowing that with clarity, and maybe a deeper understanding of how you feel about your own business. But if we are a fit, you'll finally see the first clear path to a business that runs without everything running through you. And that's the beginning of life without the burden.